Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to a quick overview or walkthrough of how Schoolpoint works. It's a software that we've been working on for the past 3 years with a lot of effort and resources put into it to make sure it works for all the schools here, especially private schools here in Ontario. And I wanted to show you guys how this is going to work. So let's take a look. Once you look into the beautiful design of the software, this is what you have. You have your own design and the calendar, which shows every element or everything that you have for the day, which you can input everything from the notice board. And if you look at here quickly, let me just zoom this in. Schoolboard has the Schoolpoint has a number of tabs. Okay, so anything to do with the student admissions comes here. Okay, you can admit one student, a number of students, and allow students that apply on your website. Okay, and then you can do promotion of students. And if you look here, we have student records. So anything to do with the student reports and everything goes in here. And staff records, all your stuff goes in here. School information, anything to do with your school, we'll talk about it. So the school's board, the school information, forms, all that stuff comes under that. And then we also have academic section, which will talk about the courses, the course categories, and the classes. Okay, so if you come to the scheduling section, it talks about all the schedule and everything. So we'll go through all of that. Then attendance talked about all the attendance of the students. You can manage daily attendance report, and all that stuff. All the assessments of the students can be seen from here. Marks is basically teachers entering the marks. And then the tuition fees and everything can be done from here, all the payments, and you can manage invoices and everything. And now the notice board is where now you put all this information that comes directly on your folder, on your calendar right here. So, and messaging is where now you can go and message students. You can write text message to students or actually email the students. Both options are available right now. So you can select the student, the particular student. Right now we are just using students, or you can send them text message, or you can do a group message, which means you can send the entire students one text message, for example, during cancellations of weather or anything, any emergency services, one text message to all the students and all the parents and all that stuff. So let's go here. And we will do a quick walkthrough, which will allow you guys to get an idea of what this is all about. And this shouldn't take longer. I'm gonna do a quick video. So to admit a student, basically you click admit and you fill all this information. Straightforward. Now the information we ask for from one student is a lot of information at the beginning, but this information will make your life really easy by helping you create report cards, transcripts, and also student index card, writing letters. This is valuable information. Graduation reports, student credit counseling summaries, all that information. Once you capture this information, and this is one time, the good news about this is that this form can be placed on your website, so students can actually fill it themselves and then have this coming to you directly into your portal right here, and then you approve it. Once you approve, the student comes in. Okay, that's how this works, straightforward. When you're doing bulk students for the first time, let's say you have a lot of students, you can manually do all of them. This is beautiful. Look at the software, how it works. Very, very easy, creates automatic. You can enter all the students' information one time like this, or you can upload a CSV file and bring all the students' information in one file, right? And then you click import, that brings all the students into your system. It's very, very straightforward. Now, that's how this works. Student request, this is where students are coming from outside and they're applying to your school, so you can approve once they come into your school and once they make the payments. Now, this is for student promotions. You select the student's grade, for example, from grade 9, you manage promotion, and the students now come up, they appear. You can look at their academic performance. If they're not doing very well, in some cases, you can talk about promotions or not, depending on, promotion. What this means is, and the grade designation is by years or by accumulation of credits. So based on their grade, based on their age, based on their credit courses, if they have like 10 credit courses and they're still in grade 12, basically they're still in grade 10. And because they haven't got enough credit to be in grade 12. So this is both. We give you the option to promote them to and look at the academic performance right from here and look at how many courses they took, what they're doing, not yet ready, all that stuff, right? If you look here, yeah, not yet ready, it says that. Okay, so this is because this is random data right now we have in here. They're not ready. I'm pulling grade 11 to pull them into grade 12. Okay, perfect. Now the next thing I want to look at is the student records, and this is one of the most important things we have ever done as a software company here, because you know here we did a lot of work working with all the software here. These are random numbers we're putting in here, and we don't expect it to be really confusing anything, just some numbers, and I'll show you how this is gonna work. Let me look at this student here. For example, all the students I can see about this student, I'll go here and I can look anything about the information. I can look at their information sheet. I can generate an ID for the student by having this having a picture here. Let's try to do that. I can just pick up a student, do that random student picture. All right, so let's say that student something random. Okay, let's say this is the student. Alrighty, let's save this on our desktop, because you will be taking this on your laptops or everything, so it's cool. You can handle this one very fast. So let's put this as 1 and then go back here and edit the student's profile. I'll have to test this one 1 2 3 for now, because it's not gonna let me update anything. Okay, I'm gonna select the image from here, update and edit. So you can see that the student's picture came in, looks really good. And now I know who I'm talking about, right? So the student's information, contact, the school information, the enrollment information, the graduation, and this other information you captured right from the beginning into that long form that we saw together. Now, if I were to tell this system to show me a student ID, it's gonna generate automatically. Like it's gonna put the school's logo out there, and it will generate. And you can print this and make this into your own student cards if you want to generate one. And now, if you look at Office Index Card, this is where the index card for the Ontario system works, and all the information you need can be captured and stored electronically here on your system. Okay, now let's go back and look at the report cards. Okay, so let's look last year's academic year. I'm going to select the semester very fast. Let's say semester 2, and I'm going to see here on the first or the final report card, and I'm going to say if I want to see the graduation report also connected to this. Okay, so once we look at this one, it should be able to generate a report card. So this is a school that has only 2 courses offering right now instead of 4. And so what we have is only 2 courses, no entry for the others. The student's information right here. The teacher is presented as Muhammad Ali, because I randomly changed all this information there. And you know what? In this report, the student earned a credit in business and a credit in math, and the total earned is two courses. I don't know if you guys can see this, and I'll show you here that now whatever they had, their credits also is being tracked. Everything here, all the information here, the school's information, everything's there. The principal's information, everything is there. So this is really cool, right? We have the students all information that we need. Perfect. This looks good. Okay, so the Ontario student system captured right in here for the report card, so you don't have to worry about it anymore, making it manually. So how does this work? And I want you to go back to this. As soon as the teachers enter the students' marks right here into the courses, and we have all the following have already been finished, but the final course marks are still pending. And I don't know. This is to see this is to show if you don't say yes to everything, you don't publish, it's going to give you a report. Okay, mid pending, mid course mark also. So anything that's pending, it's going to show here. Okay, so it wants you to approve them. Let's go here. Let's go to any of these courses and manage courses and see how this looks like, right? And I'm going to select this course. This is 2018. Now I want to go to 2017, 2018, select this course here, and manage the marks. And you can see that the system is taking a minute to generate all that information since it's data from the past. And you see all the students here, their names are all here, and the marks that they're getting is all here. Okay, so the unit 1, the marks out of presentations, exit card, self-assessment, anything that you are doing the assessment for is right here. You can notice that exit cards and self-assessments are not scored because the assessments as learning. And so this is where this comes. And then the teachers take this information right here and select the students' grades. Skills assessment right here. The skills assessment. And they put in the comments right here. Once you have all the comments here, they save that information, and the rest is taken care of. Report cards are automatically generated from this. Student marks, student courses, student transcript is automatically calculated, because what happens is the final marks are calculated automatically by the system. It calculates the median automatically, and that leads to report cards being made. And once the report cards are done, I'm going to go back to student records one more time. So once the report cards are done, then what we can do is the report cards are ready for you automatically. You don't have to manually create that the way you used to do in the past. But if you look here, I'm going to look at the student again. I can look for the transcript report. And what it's going to show me is the Ontario transcript report. So it's going to say they have 28 marks, 17 mandatory, and the system automatically decides and knows, very intelligent system, that knows which ones are compulsory, which ones are not compulsory, which ones are electives, and it's going to track all that information. If that student's missing anything, well, it's going to capture it and tell you what's missing. Okay, this is very, very powerful. Let's go here and let's go back to the same student and look at what they call the credit summary, the credit counseling summary, which I have never seen any private schools use, because this is a very powerful tool. You see, what this one does for you is that it captures all the transcript, all the mandatory courses and the elective courses, and it's gonna track what's missing, what the student is having or what they're missing. And if you see here, the student has all the 4 English required, French got 1 credit, math 3 credits required, completed, science, history. But you see, if you look at here, the art is missing. They're missing 1 art credit, and that's exactly what you need to talk. For example, for your guidance and counseling department, this is what they need to deal with, to help students track their own graduations. And this is the first time, I think. I'm not sure if other private schools are using this, but for us, we are lucky to be able to track this information and produce it, because I haven't seen this with any other systems use that. And if I look at the same student, I'm going to look at also the indexes there, their mark sheet. This is very, very powerful. So anytime the teachers input the marks into the system, this software captures all that information in the background, and it's building what they call a mark sheet, or which is going to be very good for your tracking of ministry requirements. So I'm here showing all the different tests and assessments we are able to do with this student, and from here we're able to capture the quizzes, the tests, the assessments, all that information right here built into the system. And you see here the overall expectations are being tracked, the mark out of the weightage is here, the levels are being used here. So the 4 levels, level 1 to 4, and here you see that the KTCA, the knowledge, thinking, communication, and application are also being tracked. And this is very, very important, because, and also you're tracking the overall expectation tracker, so which is going to bring all the marks and all that information right here. So now the good news about this is that as the students' marks continue, the system is actually tracking all the information, and you can print this for your student and send it home every 2 weeks or every month and say, this student is missing this student is missing that, all that information. You should be able to capture that information right there. Now, if I go here, I'm gonna close this. If I go back, I should be able to see more stuff here. Now, when it comes to the mark sheet, we are able to see that we're able to do the PLAR. So you can see right here, we're able to do all this information here. So if I want to do the PLAR for a student, you can do it right here within the system. You just click in here, select, for here, the PLNE one, which are grade 9 and 10 courses, and the grade 11 and 12 courses. So you select a course. If there's a grade 9 course, then you tell us all the courses are automatically built into the system. And if you do that, you add, and you keep adding another row, then you select another one, then you keep adding, and you keep adding, and then you can calculate the credits the student is getting based on this. Total credits right now is 2, so you can add a grade 10, and then it's 2.5. You can keep building one more row, and boom. So once you are done this is automatically taken into the student's transcript, as well as also into the student's credit summary and graduation tracking requirements and all that stuff. So you can definitely see how this works. And once this is done, you can select the dates of the test. So it's like what date you're trying to give this date. And if I do this, today is October the 13th, and I can put a note on this and save this. If that's saved, definitely that's gonna go into the student's tracking system. So I don't want to do that. So I'll just leave it there because I'm using this for. Okay, good. Let's go back to the same student and also keep playing with the other things that are possible. And what's possible also is the writing a letter. So if I want to have an admission letter, the system automatically writes the admission letter, and it gives me an offer of admission. So automatically I just have to sign, the principal has to sign. That's all they have to do. Alrighty, let's go here. And if you click on the same student, again, I'm just going to be using this one student here. And yeah, you can edit the offer, so you can different dates and all that stuff. But look at suspensions, okay? Now today, let's say this student made a mistake, something happened. You're giving them a suspension from today until the 20th, right? They can't come to school. And write to the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Student's name is Jama. We're going to use that as an example. The address, let's say, is some random numbers, something, the students. So the reason for them is all the different reasons why a student could be suspended. We put them in already automatically. So these are actually within the Education Act. So anything that's not allowed, you can take them that. And the comment is Hannah was seen drinking alcohol on school premises, something like this. This is the reason we're adding the suspension. Now it tracks this student's suspension history, and not only does that, but also automatically writes for you the suspension letter and says the date of birth of the student is taken, the present grade, school suspension. They're given October 13th, Saturday, to October 20th. And so this letter serves as an official suspension notification for the student, and that's and it can, after October 20, must be accompanied by a parent. All the information here automatically, and then all the principal, all they have to do is to go and just sign the letter, and that's it. Beautiful, beautiful, well done. The idea is to make life really easy for school principals, because there's a lot of things that are happening, and so the administration becomes really easy when this is being done. Okay, now let's go back to the student records. Now anything else I want to see, that's the enrollment letter, OSR request. When your student comes in, automatically the OSR is just generated. You request it and you're good to go. payment history. So when it comes to payments, the tuition fee, you can create a student payment history. So you select their grade, you select the student. For example, I'm gonna select the same student, and I'll say they have to pay a tuition fee, and then I'll keep command or control depending on what you're using. And yes, they need to pay for all these different things. So you can put all the description you want to put in. So the total comes to about 1,300. Yes, so the lunch payment, for example, is $400. The amount they're paying, let's say, is 400. Let's say they're paying $700 today. So somebody who's collecting it must collect, whoever is collecting puts their name here. Okay, and the due date was, let's say the due date was the 10th, let's say, and I'm gonna add here, successfully added. So when you go to the student manage invoices, you can see that this student, for the first time, they paid $700. This is what's left. They can pay with Stripe or PayPal, that means credit card. You can do this on the system, and if you guys feel like doing that online, it's possible to do that, and it will allow you to do that if you activate this tool. And if not, you can use your own local payment methods. But if you look here, two things happen. I can look at the invoice, right there. I have the student's invoice, how much it was for everything, and you can see that, you know, whoever collected the cash or the whatever credit card or whatever method was used, that's paid, and this is what's due, what's left. Now, if there is money left, the system is very smart and knows that there's a need to make a payment reminder, and you can either take a payment if they're paying now, or you can do a payment reminder. When I go here, it automatically writes a letter showing with all the conditions. Definitely this can be customized for every single school, so every school has its own custom, built system. So you can see there's no connection between the two. So beautiful, right? So you can sign this and send this to the letter for the payment reminder. Okay, very, very important, and it automatically generates with all the information, with all the letters and everything in there. This is very, very powerful. Okay, so another thing that the system does, and I'm gonna come this to the now staff record. Very easy. All the teachers are right here for you. Every teacher is there. So all I need to do now is, if you look at this, one of the teachers, if I take them and I'll just edit the teacher, right? This is the information you need to capture from the teacher. This is very important later on for your ONSYS information. So you need to make sure all the information that's here is captured properly. Okay, so if this teacher now, the only thing we added into the system for teachers also is that their contract is automatically generated. So you can see that you see the contract is right here, and we made sure this is a good contract. If you have your own, we can definitely replace this with your own, and it will be automatically done like that. All right, this is beautiful. The next thing we need to do, and this is going to be also something else that we are going to be working on, is for the scheduling of the school. Everything here is right there, so you can schedule the classes, add your schedule, and show everything, that's here. So all the classes that are there, all the different days, all the different times, everything is going to be here. All right, different colors, different times, different things. This is the school schedule right there. And assessments, the different assessments that are there. So you can create an assessment, or you can add all the different assessments. So the class assessment, you can add unit information, you can add class, you can add a class assessment. How do you add one? Right here, all the information you need. We're gonna do a very detailed walkthrough of all of this, but this is just an overview today. And you can track attendance of students right here, right there, student attendance, and all that information that you need. So I think that's going to be a quick walkthrough for today. I'm going to come back and make a detailed explanation of everything you need one by one, so you have an idea of how this works very well. So I wish you guys all the best for today. We'll see you soon.